Call the meeting of the Bay County Veterans Affairs Committee to order. It's an organizational meeting. Commission chambers, 4th floor. First order of business, have a roll call. Mark, you can do the roll call.
Vaughn B. Gick.
Here.
Tim Eckstein.
Here.
Troy Stewart.
Here.
Mike Brigandy.
Here.
And Van Digby.
Here.
All present.
Thank you. Welcome, Mr. Van Digby, our new appointee. Welcome. Designation of temporary chairman to conduct the election of the officers. Do we have any nominations?
Nominate Mark Kesmerick to run the election.
Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Motion would be in order to appoint Mark as our temporary chairman. Need a motion?
I don't know.
I make a motion, we accept the nomination.
Yeah.
I second that motion.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Come on up, Mark.
Just do it here.
Come up here.
Okay.
Seems like there's more of an all the time. Know what I mean?
Thank you, sir. Are there any nominations for the position of chairman of the Committee of Veterans Affairs?
I nominate Vaughn B. Gick.
Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations for the chairman of the committee? Nominations are closed. Ask for a unanimous ballot for Vaughn for the chairman of the committee.
Need a motion.
Move we cast one unanimous ballot for Vaughn B. Gick as the chairman of the Vets Council,
Is there a second?
Second.
Department of Veterans Affairs.
Department of
Committee, excuse me.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you, sir. Next office that's open is the vice chairman of for the Committee of Veterans Affairs. Do I have a nomination?
I had it.
I'll nominate Mike Brigandy, vice chair.
Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations for the vice chair? Are there any other nominations? Nominations are closed for the position of vice chairman. Ask for, go ahead, sir.
Make one vote.
You need a second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor of electing Mike Brigandy to the position of vice chairman signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Need a nomination for the position of secretary to the Committee on Veterans Affairs.
I nominate Troy Stewart.
Support.
Are there any other nominations for the position of secretary? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Nominations, but
Nomination be closed and unanimous ballot for Troy Stewart for secretary.
motion on the floor. Are there, motion, go ahead, sir.
Second that motion.
Thank you. Ask for one unanimous ballot. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion is passed. All right, open nominations for the position of Sergeant at Arms for the committee. Are there any nominations?
Nominate Tim Eckstein. He's closest to the action here.
Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations for the position of Sergeant at Arms for the committee? Seeing none, the nominations are closed. Ask for a motion for one unanimous ballot for Tim Eckstein.
I make a motion.
Support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And any opposed? All right, gentlemen, I thank you for serving on the committee this year for 2023.
right. Thank you, thank you. I think. Citizens input. We have, oh, yes, we don't have, we skipped the minutes on here.
I realize that's not on there yet.
Okay, yes, we need the minutes approved. Any motion to approve the minutes?
I make a motion, we accept the minutes as approved, as
Second.
read.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Yes.
I have a couple items here. First of all, I believe the chairman's last name is B. Gick, not B. Quick.
Oh,
Yes, I am quick, but not so much lately.
Okay. And then some factual items under old business.
what do you got?
It reads, "We are in need of an engraver for the wall plaque for the Ewell Memorial, the county marker." Eckstein stated that possibly Warren Smith could do the engraving. They attend the same church. Eckstein suggested that possibly Warren Smith could find an engraver since he attends the same church as Ewell did. I don't attend the same churches.
So do you now take your nomination back from me for secretary?
Yeah.
Thank you, I miswrote that, I apologize. So Warren Smith may know somebody.
Warren Smith may know somebody.
Okay, I know Warren,
Do you?
yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
I have an update on that too, but.
Thank you for
probably
that.
do.
And Eckstein will check with him and get back with B. Quick. No, Eckstein suggested that Vaughn B. Gick check with Warren, but there was a miscommunication there. Now, I can check with Warren, but if Troy can check with Warren, that's perfectly fine.
Take one holiday off my fingers, forget which is a G and which is a Q. Thanks. And I know it's big gig, I hit the Q by accident, sorry. Thank
I'll
you.
make a little side comment here, a little historical interest. Warren Smith, some of you met or know who Roger Donlin was when he visited, first recipient of the Congressional Medal of Honor in Vietnam. When Roger's unit was extracted from Nam Dong after the action for which he received the Congressional Medal of Honor, Warren Smith was in that helicopter squadron. So,
With those changes, a motion would be in order with the corrections. Mr. Digby, Van Digby, you made the original motion. You want to make it with the corrections?
yeah.
Okay. Support? Anybody?
I support,
I support.
and I'll make the corrections.
Any more discussion? Yeah.
I was coming back from Saginaw this afternoon, and by Mike's Meat Market, there by Walmart, I saw cemetery stones on the side of the road in the guy's business, bicycle shop, I think. My next trip there, I'll see if he does engraving in Bay County.
Oh,
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, now, let's go to citizen input. So we're going to limit to 5 minutes. You can sign the guest book if you want. You don't have to sign the guest book. It'd be good if you introduce yourself at least, though. Who is first?
It will be,
it's about this.
I'm sure.
My name is Gary Javisky. I'm in charge of the Bay County Vest Council Honor Guard, and I heard they want to change the Memorial Day schedule to one big parade. I am totally against that. I am the one that gives the commands for most of the ceremonies, and it's a disgrace that we cannot honor our fallen veterans at the local cemeteries, especially at Greenwood Cemetery. There's a Bay County Veteran Honor Guard was killed in KIA, and he's buried in Greenwood Cemetery. Now you tell me, I'm going to call that family and tell them we cannot have a military service. And there's over 200 people that fall out at St. Pat's Cemetery at any given time. Plus, they show up also at the, I'm trying to, at Flow, there's quite a few people that fall at the Flow Gardens. I don't know why the reason is why we have to change the schedule. It's been here for 30 years. I've been doing it since 1990, and I don't see why This has to change because you want a parade. Are you going to block the streets off? Where are you going to have it? And where are you going to meet for one big gathering? It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't cost anybody here any money for the Vets Council Honor Guard to perform the military service. It's all free.
All free.
And there's a lot of you guys probably don't even show up for the military services. You don't know what we're going through a day after we start at 8 o'clock in the morning and we don't get done till 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And it's a shame. I just can't, I can't figure, even at Oak Ridge Cemetery, all units, you got people there. I'm just frustrated with you people. Thank you for,
Thank you. Any other public input?
Yeah.
Please state your name. You don't have to sign the book if you don't want to.
My name is John Dwyer. I'm the commander of Bay County Vets Council. Memorial Day is an important day to many people. I have a good friend, she lives in Tennessee. Her son was killed over in Iraq, and she went to Arlington to see her son there the one time. It wasn't political or nothing, but Obama was there and they wouldn't let her in. She was very upset. I mean, some people, Memorial Day, that's where they want to be, at their family's grave sites. And what we do when we go to the grave sites, we're paying homage and showing the, with the families and stuff like that. So I don't want to change that policy at all. There's not just our Bay County, the VFW and Colin, they do like 10 or 15 different cemeteries besides us. And they're passionate about it. They never miss the call. And we have never missed a call about going to the cemeteries. And I like to keep the same thing going. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Marilyn Lazars, retired Lieutenant Colonel, Army Nurse Corps, 22 years. I served in a Ford operating base with the 415th Civil Affairs Battalion Company in support of the 4th Brigade Combat Team, 3rd Infantry Division in North Babel, Baghdad, Iraq. I'm here to speak about the Bay County Memorial Day events. Okay. Bay County Memorial Day schedule events are a long-standing tradition with the Bay County Veterans Council at the cemeteries and memorial monuments, including the USS Edson. The residents of Bay County visit the cemeteries on Memorial Day to remind them and pay tribute to their loved ones who have nobly served in the military. If you have never attended a Memorial Day service at the cemetery, the military graves are decorated with American flags and are a sight to behold. Each flag represents a soldier who has served our country for our freedom. One can capture the family's grief and a sense of loss. For some families, the grief is recent. At St. Patrick's Cemetery alone, there are more than 200 people in attendance on Memorial Day. The families even bring their children to honor the memory of the fallen. The Bay County Veteran Monuments include the Bay County Building, Veterans Memorial Park, and the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, and including the USS Edson. Gathering together is but one small way we honor those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. The Bay County Veterans Council members who attend Memorial Day events include various local military organizations and military honor guard. They ask for no compensation or acknowledgement. All are volunteers and serve knowingly that these patriots will not be forgotten and remember the sacrifices the fallen soldiers have made in honor of duty and country. They volunteer for a cause larger than oneself. It has been a long-standing tradition for the Bay County Veterans Council to schedule and observe the Bay County Memorial Day events at the cemeteries and memorial monuments. I didn't eat any lunch today. I am against the Bay County Veterans Committee for Bay County to have a one combined Memorial Day ceremony with the keynote speaker and parade, which could incur a cost to the Bay County residents. To the Bay County Veterans Committee members, now is not the time for change, to change the tradition of the Bay County Memorial Day events. Save it for Bay County's future generation of veterans. It is time, however, for the Bay County Veterans Committee appointed members to rejoin the Bay County Veterans Council. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, my name is David Lambert, and I've been with the Bay County Veterans Council Honor Guard for over 20 years. I was a Vietnam veteran myself, and when I came home, it took me like 10 years to kind of get myself orientated back to the public and society because of what I've been through. But you know, it's on my behalf, and I'm sure I'm speaking on my fellow comrades and behalf for the funerals and the things that we do for this county is enormous in more ways than you can look at because of the fact of the people that you're dealing with. You're dealing with Bay County citizens, people like us and you. We're all part of this system, but when it comes to one, I can remember back years ago, they did have a military parade here, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm sure they also had Veterans Day, Memorial Day, and all of them inside that concept. But in order to cut that facet out, people have talked about St. Patrick's Cemetery. Let's do a little Flora Gardens. I mean, I have family that's buried in Flora Gardens. My dad and my brother were in the service also. So I have a special concern there, just not just with that, but I have fellow comrades that have died, gave their life for this country. They deserve to have their voices heard. And if we stand back and not do nothing about this, things are going to get a little out of control, and we don't need that. We just want our veterans taken care of in an honorable fashion, which they spent their time in and done in an honorable fashion. But there are so many people. Over the years, I met so many people over the years that it's crazy. But you know, they all say, they shake your hand, they come up to you and they talk to you. Man, I'm so glad you guys do this. This is a real faithful thing that you guys do every year. And those that are coming in and facets, now I see them bringing their children and their grandchildren. These are our future residents of this county. With the future of the county and what's going on, we need more to stick together for the veterans. We need to honor our veterans. We need to do it in a way we all can be part of it without having to argue and fight over certain situations. But remember, these veterans paid their life for us. In return, we pay our respect for them on this day. But I would wish you to consider what everyone has said here and what everybody has said about keeping the tradition going. It's been going, it's been implemented for years now. I mean, probably over 30 years as far as I'm concerned, but I know for a fact that it's been present there for over 20 years that I have been on this Bay County Veterans Council Honor Guard. And I would like to see it continue. I mean, if you want to do a parade and cost your money either way, whatever, how you figure it, we do it from the graciousness of our heart. It comes from our heart to do this for families and to see their faces and their families and how much honor they get and respect from what we do for them on Memorial Day. And we can't let this lay aside and not be a tradition. It's been implicated for years here. Why do we want to take it away now? That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Fred Zippler, you all know me. I want to contrast and compare two different holidays with the same basic foundation. Veterans Day. You're honoring all veterans, past and present. Some municipalities have parades on Veterans Day. They have outdoor ceremonies. Veterans Post may have those memorials in there, within their post. AMVETS, I know we do a Veterans Recognition every Veterans Day, open to everybody. We had a very, very good crowd. We do Veterans Day ceremony here at the County Building. Few people show up. It's sparse attendance at best. Veterans and our families come to these things. Compare that to Memorial Day. We're honoring past members, if you will, KIAs. They were taken by diseases, by natural causes. You want to have a parade? Good, great. How many of them veterans in them cemeteries are going to come to that parade? Duh. You got to take the memorial to the people. You want to go with your parade? Go for it. But we're not going to stop going to the cemeteries. That's it.
Thank you. We have it on the agenda later on, so let's just hold on to it for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think there's just a lot of misunderstandings.
I think there is.
Anybody
I'm
else?
not going to get into it.
No, I just like to see.
And one more. Or more.
My name is Mark Smith. I belong to the Knights of Columbus worldwide. I take care of my vets every day, 7 days a week. This is a great honor that I've done. For 30 years, I've worked with these veterans day in, day out. I get up every day at 73 years old. I go over, open up that food pantry, make sure my vets are taken care of. You cannot take this away from them. This is too hard for me to talk about. I'm sorry, but this is wrong. My dad is out at Floral Gardens, and I will not take this away from him or any other veteran. in this country that I can get up, put a flag on their gift, on their grave, and walk over and salute to them. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Anybody else? Last call. Close the citizens' input. Petitions and communications. I have one communication. We've been working on this indigent defense, the thing, the legislation from 1899. I reapproached Representative Beeson again with it. So we're going to see if we can get it maybe introduced again to clarify what indigent and emergent means and some of the pricing in there. So they said they would take it up. We'll see. So we'll try to get some clarification on that issue. That's for the Soldiers and Sailors Relief Fund. I don't think we have any other ones. Reports, resolutions, we have quarterly statistics from Mark. I don't know if you want to go over them a little bit.
So the first page of the statistics, you'll see, these are the fourth quarter statistics. I realize mine says first quarter. It's because with the state, we work on a fiscal year, the county works on a calendar year. Sorry, sir, did I not? So you'll see the first page deals with the soldiers and sailors expenses for things that we're using for emergency relief. You can see food and gas, heat or a furnace. There were no electric. Basically, the utilities, obviously a big one, in consumers' energy. We did two car repairs, sorry. And then we had bus passes that we gave out to a veteran as well. So you also see statistics for transportation, which we take from the transportation forms we take out of the vehicles that the drivers fill out for transportation. So county burials and markers, one of the things Gary also does is we track how many markers and how many county burials that we're doing. So this is for the county benefit, not the federal benefit. So, and then trust fund applications as well that we're doing in the office. And as you can see, we approve them on a local level, but the state does not. So that's what they are. And then the second page is actually the what we do as well but this is what a copy I send to the state because they want statistics for the grant. So this is more of the federal things that we do for the VA, federal burial allowances, how many claims, how many survivor pensions we did for the quarter, and additional forms, anything that we do. And then support services trust fund if we're helping anyone get started. You'll see that number is of course higher than the number we had because we're giving out applications, but we may not always get an application back because they don't want to fill them out. So, so you can see there's just various. And then supplemental claims, you'll see those are when we're refiling for claims for the folks, for the veterans, for their, if they're refuting what the VA has said. So, and then second page, just some statistics about what forms we send to the VA, which are few. Most of them we send through the VSO offices in Detroit, and then aging veterans or female veterans. So.
Any questions about the statistics? Yeah. Looks pretty thorough, thank you. Motion to receive would be in order.
I make a motion, we accept published quarterly report from the Department of Veterans Affairs.
Yep.
Second.
Yep. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Old business, Memorial Day. We've had a little discussion already.
Go ahead.
Any discussion from the floor?
Yeah. Memorial Day, Veterans Day, VJ Day, and a couple of other ceremonies. This is part of the uniform I wear. Otherwise, when I do the veteran cemeteries, funerals, individual, I'll be wearing that uniform over there, the Vets Council. I do this to honor the veterans that are no longer with us. The ones that held the flag up at Fort McKinley in Washington when the British were bombing the place to Afghanistan. That's all.
Any other comments? Mr. Stewart?
First of all, I want to appreciate everybody's comments and their resumes. You need to know that everybody in this room, except for 2 people, are veterans. So we're not you and us, it's us. We're with you guys as well. We understand what you're saying. I think there's some misunderstanding or miscommunication. Nobody wanted to get rid of the VSO or the individual units, burial sites ceremonies. Nobody wanted to get rid of that at all. Nobody wanted to get rid of your individual ceremonies. Nobody wanted to get rid of that at all. This paper, nobody wanted to get rid of this. So there's some miscommunication. There was some talk about having a main event, and then everybody's still doing their individual ones that you like to attend at the grave sites. So there was some miscommunication. And I want to refer to Mr. Lambert's comment, honorable fashion. Honorable fashion. Most of my friends that I've had, I've lost in combat or training. I'm the same as you guys. I spent 20 years in the ground side of the Marine Corps. I understand exactly what you're saying. Honorable fashion. PLAV, DAV, and 6950. Do they have a full detail when they go to the cemetery? They have a 21-gun salute, a bugler, an announcer, and a cadence caller? No. I go to almost all these. I go to many of these only since 2001 because that's when I moved here. Most of these are not done in an honorable fashion as we would consider as veterans. Is there a 21-gun salute at most of these?
Yes, there is.
Auburn Cemetery, Fremont, at all of these. Because I've been to several that there's not enough people to do that. Hampton's been taken off here.
Don't follow with us. They're not even a member of the council anymore.
Well, I can tell you, we've had problems with a lot of these. Essexville, we took that one off because people just don't come to that one. And then somebody took Hampton off here, which I understand that because that has, okay, thank you, because that's a big one. Okay, thank you, I put a note there. Okay,
I'm going
but
to
just so you
have
guys
public
know,
comment at the end, so let's get our discussion in, and then we'll have some public
I
comment
just
at
want
the
you to know that
end.
we're not against these at all. We just want to make sure, like Mr. Lambert said, they're done in an honorable fashion. And if you do one large one, everybody can recognize Memorial Day. And I don't remember taking notes about a parade that was talked about that Saginaw has a parade, but somehow it became a parade here, and we didn't discuss having a parade. It was mentioned that Saginaw does a parade. We just talked about having a main event, like at the courthouse, but making it bigger, so it's bigger for people, maybe advertising it better, having phone numbers available, and still doing the VSOs. We still do, I'm with the Marine Corps League, we do 5 to 6 every year, just like you guys do, and we come out there with 9 to 11 people. Every year, had we had less, we would do a much smaller ceremony. But fortunately, we have enough to do a 21-gun salute and enough to do everything. And we team up with you guys on several in an honorable fashion, and I agree with that. We need to make sure these are done right. Or if they can't be done in a big fashion, why can't we have a large one where people can come see how an actual Memorial Day service is done, and then do the individual ones at the grave sites like most of us do. I go to several myself for family members. I don't have a detail with me. I go with my family, and we go on our own. And we still pay our respects to the fallen soldiers and sailors and Army Marines. So I just think there was some miscommunication by listening to a lot of that. I think you think we're against this, we're not at all. But we go to them too. We're there every year too at the Legion, every year 8 o'clock in the morning, getting rifles ready, getting ready to go out for the day. So we are with you. We just think that maybe, could we have one that's better for all of us? Maybe we need to brainstorm this and have a really nice one and still go out to all these cemeteries, still do this. And can all these still be maintained? That's the problem right now. Are all these still being done in a proper fashion? I hope they are, but from what I'm hearing, they're not. So.
Anyone else? Mr. Brigandy, Mr. Eckstein, any comments? Let Mr. Brigandy go first. We're going down the line here.
Yeah, I would like to thank everybody for coming in and giving us your thoughts on this. As Troy mentioned, we mentioned there was a parade in Saginaw, and I think they do that for Veterans Day. I don't know if a parade would be appropriate for Memorial Day. So the intent was to get everybody looking at and talking about these, and I think they're good. 5, 6 years ago, I had my blues on, and I went out to every one of them that I could make it to, and I think I spoke at half of them. It gets hard getting in and out of a lot of them. So thank you for your input. I don't know where y'all thought we wanted to have a Memorial Day parade, because I don't think that was ever discussed.
No.
No.
Mr. Eckstein?
It was never,
Uh,
thank you.
Yeah, I think, Mr. Barshall.
Yeah, I'll just say, I was at the last meeting, and yeah, I think there was someone mentioned there was a parade, but I believe, since I used to represent Saginaw County, was the Veterans Day Parade. I would not suggest having more parades in Bay County because, we had a 4th of July parade, even with all the people in town for the annual fireworks festival. We'd get, 200 people in the parade and 100 bystanders. And it's just kind of silly to get all of that infrastructure and people out and march down empty streets. So, but I don't recall anyone suggesting that any of your services be canceled. And I just want to point out, you are two different organizations. This committee doesn't have any say over what the Veterans Council does. Veterans Council represents all the veterans of Bay County, and you're self-governing. And the only way that any of these events would be canceled would be if you decided to cancel them, not this committee. And I did not, maybe there was something I missed. We could go back and look at the video of the meeting. But I would never, I think it's incredible what our veterans and the Veterans Council does time and again all year round. And I've been in a lot of the cemeteries and a lot of the events. I haven't been as good at getting to the Edson, but I try to make as many as I can, and always at the county building here. So, yeah, I hope everyone knows, the only way your schedules change is if you do it yourselves. These are your events, not this committee's. And they may have an opinion one way or the other. And I think there was an observation that it's just getting hard to get people out, and some of the people that, you're all heroes in I've seen every one of you at the veterans events, and for you to do what you do for your fellow veterans is incredible. And it is a huge sacrifice and shows your dedication to honoring not only veterans that lost their lives in the war, but every single veteran, man and woman, that served their country to preserve our democracy and our American way of life. So I would not be supportive of any way this committee or Bay County in any way. As you know, Bay County's never weighed in on anything like this. We are actually so appreciative of what you do. And I think some of the concern was maybe there aren't enough young people to carry the tradition on down the line, but we just have to try to recruit more people. If some of our people are getting too old to participate, we got to recruit newer, younger people in. But I think even if it's one family that comes out to a cemetery service, that's wonderful. I mean, the fact that we have veterans who are willing to do this makes Bay County unique. But I did not understand the conversation at the last meeting in any way to basically cancel your events. They have no ability to do that. Nobody wants to do that. They don't. I think it was just an observation that every year it's a little challenge. But we're amazed. I'm amazed at what each and every one of you do. Thank you. Thank you for what you do every Memorial Day and every Veterans Day and every day throughout the year fighting for veterans. Whether it's an honor guard or at a funeral, which I've been to numerous funerals, where all of you have been present and your honor guard. So we're lucky in Bay County to have the dedicated group, our Bay County Veterans Council, that does so much on behalf of our veterans. And thank you for also suggesting, and I think some of the committee members here, that we plot every single veteran's grave, and we've identified about over 8,000 now that have been certified as veterans' graves in every cemetery in Bay County. So we're making progress, but I have respect for every single person in the audience. Thank you for what you do. And never should this committee or Bay County try to stifle any of the services at our cemeteries, in my opinion. So.
Andy?
Jim, that's a good transition to another topic on Memorial Day. We need flags, grave flags, again. I will order them after the county commission approves the funding.
We have $2,500 line item for flags every year.
Oh, so it's already approved?
It's
So I
approved,
can order
yes.
them now?
Yeah, it's in the budget.
It's routine.
I think we got
Yeah.
what did we get, 22 gross last year? Gary, I brought them over to you on that. 22 gross?
2,200?
Yeah. 22 gross or 2,200? $2,200 worth by shipping came in.
to a case.
So I'll point out the positives. We're paying for flags. We did the cemetery study. And reading the last line of the minutes, it says we referred it back to Vets Council, is what I heard. And also somebody brought up about making an appointment to Vets Council. I'm going to make an appointment right now, Mr. Van Digby, who's on the Vets Council already, so he'll be our representative there. And I think if you read the charter down on the second floor, I think it's down there for Vets Council. It talks about what the Vets Council is about and what their duties are, and you have a lot of power, a lot of authority. So we can't take anything away from you here. So it's all on you. We're going to have public comment at the end here. We're almost done. Any other new business? Miscellaneous? All right, so public comment. Let's have another public comment. Marilyn. Marilyn had her hand up first. Ladies first.
Okay. I was at the last committee meeting. That was my last meeting. And I tend to disagree with the committee members today about what they were trying to present for the events on Memorial Day. The suggestion was to have a combined one service Memorial Day event and change this whole schedule and not go to the cemeteries because some of these veterans organizations don't have enough people from their organizations to go to the cemeteries. And I have heard over and over, the schedule has to change because they don't have enough people or us veterans are getting older. Yes, we are getting older, but it is our time to volunteer in honor and duty for these soldiers that have made the sacrifices for our freedom. So, I'm sorry, I disagree. Each of us maybe took a little bit out of that committee meeting and formed our own opinion. But I have heard time and time again from various veterans, military organizations that the schedule has to change. And they also did mention a parade, just mentioned it. So, and that's when I said, this is not Saginaw County, this is Bay County. And one of your committee members said, that's the problem. So, thank you.
Any more public comment?
Gary Javiski, Commander of the Honor Guard. Does anybody have a complete list of the cemeteries that you paid the guy to go through?
Yes.
We do.
Now, I know already that, is there anything about Cody-Estee? 11 Mile and Cody-Estee. There's two ceremonies, cemeteries there.
We'll have to look it
You
up.
got the one on 8 Mile and Salzburg, Home Cemetery. Is that on your list?
They're all down.
Mark's
I don't have
taking notes, or maybe he's got the answer.
I don't have a complete list.
I can get it to you.
When you go online and you say all the cemeteries in Bay County, they're there.
I can get you the list of the ones we did.
Yeah.
I'm happy to get that.
Now, who takes
have a
care of
list.
them, I'm just trying to say, that they're gonna need flags also. I don't know who, excuse me, I don't know who puts them out there. I have no idea.
They're being done.
More than likely it's 6950, but
Yeah, no one either.
I would just like to make sure they're on the list so we don't have any, any mistakes.
We will
Thank
check
you.
on that, yes.
Gary, some of the townships do them themselves.
Yeah, there are some townships that do their own. I do my own church cemetery out on west side Saginaw. We have about 50 veterans, and I go out with the school kids, and I talk to them about Memorial Day and what it means, and give them a little history, and we put the flags out. So that's a good way to do it, I think, also, if you got a small cemetery.
It's right here.
So anyway, Vets Council, it's on Vets Council, so Van's our representative. As Mr. Barcia said, we don't have any power to change anything here, it's the Vets Council, so it's all on you, and Mr. Van Digby will be the representative, and if there's any changes that have to come from the Vets Council. So, enough said for now. Okay, new business. I just have,
Just home cemetery, is that the one?
quick comment thread?
No, that's 8 Mile in Salisbury.
Okay. Home, got it, thank you.
That's way back.
Cemetery, I didn't know there was one there.
I can't think of the name of the church right there.
Understand what the
in Salisbury.
I obviously was misinformed or misunderstood about this talk about the parade and what have you. But I want to know, I can count on the Vets Council Honor Guard, the VBA Honor Guard, and hopefully Troy will continue. And I appreciate Mr. Barcia speaking up like he did. And I hope I didn't offend anyone, but we're good to go. Thank you.
We're veterans, we can handle it. Just one other point, we're going to vote later on. The Division on Aging got some grant money to help veterans specifically with appliances in the house, grab bars in the bathroom, or other things to help assist. So we're going to be voting on that. I'm pretty sure it's going to go through. So there'll be grant money available. She'll probably put out a blurb on it, probably in their magazine or some other thing to let veterans know that they can get some of these appliances in their house, which are good things to have.
Yeah, just going to say, we hope that that would be a good thing to help people if they have a problem with their bathroom or their toilet or something else that's too big of a project for someone to do themselves, especially if they've got, physical limitations or issues. And to basically have a staff go out and assist veterans specifically, with those issues that they have in their homes. So I hope the air is cleared today because, I would never support interfering with the Veterans Council schedule of those honorable events. And I don't think anyone intended to do that. It may have been misinterpreted, and I know there was some banter, Marilyn, but I know it was a gentleman from Saginaw that said, in Saginaw we have a parade. But I know Bay City would not even, we couldn't even get attendance at a 4th of July parade, even we had all the people in town on Saturday. But anyway, it's your events, and we're all amazed at the hours and the personal resources you devote to honor our veterans, and thank you once again. And we'll, again, point out, this committee does not have any jurisdiction over the Vets Council. You're your own entity. You're the only group amongst yourselves that will decide if the schedule changes.
Okay, and,
Two questions. Can this get posted somewhere?
yeah, that was one issue. We don't have it in the newspaper anymore, so it doesn't get out. So we need to find a way to get the message out. So, internet.
County webpage or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we do. Yeah, we.
Yeah, I think we put it on our homepage. If somebody looks at it, the newspaper doesn't carry it, and so it's a little hard getting the word out. So if you have any ideas, let us know.
Another question, is the bus coming to the American Legion at 11:30 in the morning?
They won't supply a bus.
Yeah, I didn't think it's been there for a couple of years. Okay.
Mike, remember, that's got to be changed.
Yeah, that's gonna be changed. Some of them, the BMW and they changed their schedule, they got a couple cemeteries there early in
Oh,
the
so
morning.
this isn't the final?
No, that ain't the fine. Okay. And what happened is, I took Hampton off by mistake last year. We were talking about it, let's go, and I took the wrong one off, so that would be back on Hampton. They did go to Hampton, but it wasn't on the, it wasn't on that schedule. They did attend to Hampton, but the VFW, Gary Grayson talked to him, they changed their schedule because they used to go to them, calling a couple cemeteries. It was the same time church was, so they changed it, so they go there later.
Well, I know the Crump Post has picked up a couple of them out, and, farther out.
I have no communication with the Crump folks.
I do.
Need to get the word out. Any new business? A motion to adjourn is always in order.
Motion to adjourn?
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Adjourn.